worry about GenAI taking away your rice bowls? To be honest, it doesn't even know where the bowl is without you telling it. AI doesn't comprehend the beautiful chaos of humanity, but human designers can. Hello everyone, my name is Weiwei and welcome to my channel about UX design and personal growth. In today's video, I want to continue talking about GenAI. I already made a video about how it boosts our productivity, but in today's video, I want to talk a little bit more about the dark side of GenAI tools, such as whether it really poses threat to our jobs. And as product designers, maybe even for developers, can we still find hope? Can we find our way in today's changing landscape? To be honest, I think the video will mostly be just me yapping away, but hopefully you'll find some of the information valuable. So as a product designer, I've been using GenAI in my recent work a lot, but I couldn't help thinking whether GenAI will take away our job. And then I realized that the biggest threat of GenAI to us is probably not taking away our job, but rather taking away the meaning in our jobs. If you think about it, when the Industrial Revolution happened last time, the steam engine came along and it really took away the jobs from a lot of people. But those are mostly pure manual labor work. But today, when GenAI tools emerged, being generative in nature was able to deliver a lot of creative work, and it's slowly sapping away the meaning in the creation process. But to a lot of jobs, the process of creation was actually core to the sense of fulfillment. If you think about being a developer, for instance, the process of coding away at your screen and eventually see the program run on its own. Also for the designer, how we are able to conceptualize an idea and eventually bring it into the interface design. The whole process actually gave us a deep sense of meaning and fulfillment. But if GenAI was able to do all this, how are we able to establish our identity as a creator? So for the creator, the meaning doesn't just lie in the final results or the output. It actually lies in the process itself, the effort and process which made us feel unique and also made us feel that we had created something worthy. So GenAI actually robs us of the meaning, and is it any surprise that we are scared of it? This brings me to my second point. As UX designers, we may not have the chance to train ourselves with a large amount of data anymore, which is essential to the making of a designer. If you think about it, GenAI tools are trained upon a vast amount of data. And as product designers, when we first started picking up the skills, let's say learn about grid layout, use of colors, how to make the UX flow make sense. We also do it by modeling after a lot of great designs, doing our own projects. This process is exactly training our sense of design by using a large amount of data. But now AI comes and presents you with the final answer straight away. How are you going to train your designer's eyes in the process? One of my mentees once asked me, since GenAI can create icons already, do I still need to learn how to create icons? And that shows the danger of GenAI tools. All it does is to present you a shortcut. But if you lack sufficient practice to understand the principles behind the shortcut, honestly, it's not the blessing for a designer, but rather the downfall for us. The third threat is the lack of empathy that may permeate product designs if we do not pay heed. When I read about the Uber driverless car accident that happened in Arizona back in 2018, I was so shocked. Basically, what happened was that the car hit the pedestrian because she was jaywalking. And in the AI's context, it assumes that all pedestrians will use the crosswalk. So it didn't understand what was happening, and the tragedy happened. But any human being wouldn't have made such a mistake. GenAI tools are largely driven by logic and algorithm. So when human empathy and values are not carefully engineered into it, grave mistakes like this could happen with severe consequences. There are far more examples than the car accident. I think in the news, you guys probably also read about how GenAI actually encouraged certain users to pursue suicide ideations. AI doesn't comprehend the beautiful chaos of humanity, but human designers can. So in every single context, GenAI still very much needs human supervision. And do you need to worry about GenAI taking away your rice bowls? To be honest, it doesn't even know where the bowl is without you telling it. But in this time and age, it's critical that we take active ownership of GenAI, and it means a number of things. First, we need to define the meaning of our lives in a sharper way. The meaning we used to get from writing code manually or creating an illustration from scratch will be extracted increasingly away by GenAI because it's able to do these things almost effortlessly. We're no competition for that. This really drives us up and calls for us to think about more advanced questions such as what kind of products are worth building, what kind of boundaries I should put around GenAI tools, what kind of good am I creating using GenAI, or ultimately on a meta level, why do I even exist? Where do I come from? Where should I go? This gives us a sense of meaning and direction. If GenAI itself could be an army, then we should be the general for it. The second thing is to deeply embed yourself into collaborations. To manage GenAI is not that difficult. You just need to give it a prompt and it will generate the results you need. But to manage people is a total different ballgame. I have a friend who sometimes rants to me about how difficult her job is, and it's not the work, it's always the people, and I totally understand where she comes from. But it also means that her position is probably very difficult to replace using GenAI. If your job involves winning people's trust, building relationships, and driving collaboration, yes, it's definitely trickier than managing AI, but it also shields you from AI doing your job because frankly, it just can't. So upping your people skills and deeply embedding yourself into collaborations probably never go out of style. And this also touches on the next point. We human beings are social animals. Never forget that. Doing valuable work gives us meaning, but even more so when we're doing it for a larger community. If you're worried about GenAI taking away your job, maybe you can think about how to better support teamwork, how to connect your work to a larger community from where you can achieve a larger sense of purpose as well. When we contribute our skills to a community, not only does it give us a deeper sense of meaning and belonging, but also make us more irreplaceable. Finally, stay humble and stay empathetic. As designers, we know that one of the most powerful tools we have is empathy. It's good empathetic designs that removes users' worries, expands their capabilities no matter their age, ethnicity, or their circumstances, and drives humanitarian values. But if you leave all this to GenAI, the world may be bulldozed over for higher productivity and efficiency. Can we still preserve the most generous and compassionate parts in ourselves? Will we still shed tears for the struggles of others? Will we constantly remind ourselves that the products we create need to cater to the diverse colors and shades in the palette of human nature? GenAI will probably see empathy as something as interesting but redundant, but maybe it's the redundancy that makes us real human beings. Thank you for staying this long. If you like this topic, please leave a comment below. Oh, and if you are also interested in the topic of empathy, maybe you want to check out my other video on how to ask the most important question for a UX designer as well. See you next time.